First question, where were you at in general or from a revenue standpoint prior to joining RC?
I had done $2.7 million the year before, but it was very unprofitable. It was a fucking mess. I lost $500,000 that year, so that was 2022.
So my husband has had the business for about 18 years. He basically created a job for himself. I was in accounting and I stepped out about 4 years ago to join him. And so prior to joining RC, it was just my husband working in the business. We weren't a design build company. We were doing probably about 100 to 150,000 a year. A lot of small jobs. Basically, maybe our biggest job was probably like a basement renovation. Lots of deck, lots of small bathrooms, stuff like that. Nothing crazy. So that's where we were prior to joining RC.
I think I had some framework in play, but definitely struggling with systems. I really think RC helped most in the mindset game for me. It kind of instills like a discipline. That you got to stay on top of some things, and for me it was just a matter of constant touch points with the guys that I would see in Zoom all the time, and the staff at RC, being accountable to those guys, and so yeah, that's what RC's done for me is like giving me the accountability. To put the things that I've learned into place, because they're no good if you don't implement them. You can read all the books, you can take all the coaching, you can do all the things. If you don't implement them, they mean nothing.
Prior to joining RC last year, I did a little bit under 100K, self-performing, mostly carpentry and handyman style jobs.
Yeah, before we joined RC, we were doing investor projects, and we were just right under 100,000. I want to say precisely anywhere between 60 to 80 to 90.
Since joining RC, where have you gotten to?
Okay, so this year was a lot of implementing, a lot of learning, right? So not necessarily the revenue increase, but the margin increase. So everything was sold at 37%. So you can do the math there, 37% of 2.7 again. Not too shabby, right?
Yeah.
We met Lane and we were like, okay, either we join RC or we pay our tax bill. And that's where we were. It was like, we might as well close the doors. So we decided to hold off on the tax bill, joined RC. We sold $2.5 million last year. We are a full design build company now. We have all the systems, processes in place. We weren't operating with contracts or anything like that. We have all that now. And it's a totally different business.
I mean, that's a really hard question to answer because there's so much. I mean, it's literally changed my entire life, like, and in a crazy way. It's changed all my beliefs about my abilities. It's changed my mindset. It's changed the way that I operate in everyday life. It's truly a blessing.
I took a lot of nuggets he threw out there in his free boot camps, implemented those, and I kind of like logged my first deal with that even before joining, but I still didn't have any clue of what I was doing. So I joined in August, and that has completely changed how I approach anything in regards to construction, and I think I can take this system and apply it to anything, if it's a single trade or a general contractor approach. And I think it's a very meticulous process of making sure you get all your T's crossed and all your I's dotted, and not make any mistake and rush into build. It has helped me in my business essentially. Even with my projects that were currently in process, when I implemented the whole design build system, I was able to quickly implement some of the stuff without actually, wiggling away from what we're doing. And that actually helped me capture additional revenue from things like selections and just making sure that we have everything done right. But with new contracts that we got using the RC method, we've been able to successfully like execute the project per the plan and not necessarily have an issue so far. So it's been good. It's been good. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it, yeah.
If you had to boil it down to one thing, what has been the biggest takeaway or the biggest thing that RC has implemented for you in the business?
Just basically having this full bulletproof system. Like a lot of other coaching programs will give you bits and pieces and things that you can take away. But this is like, okay, this is what you do. This is the roadmap. This is how you scale. This is how you effectively, build a company, and you could be in Puerto Rico. And yeah, never would have done this before. Never would have even thought this was possible. So I love it.
So our biggest thing that we did was I went full on with our realtors. That changed the game for us. It allowed us to quickly build trust with people who had the connections to the jobs that we wanted. We wanted those whole house remodels. They were our ticket to getting that. And then all the trainings, the sales training was phenomenal for us just to learn, because we didn't know how to sell those big jobs, right? And so we had to learn all that. So the sales training, the realtor stuff was huge for us. And honestly, the people that were in the group. It's collaborating with people who are where you want to be and learning the mistakes they made that you don't want to make is a game changer.
I would say actually it was the marketing portion of it, especially with realtors and designers. We've started reaching out to designers in our area, mostly by accident. Like we just happened to run across the same paths, and using the RC methods, I've been able to talk to a couple designers and bring them into our system. Prior, I never would have thought of talking to a designer. Never would have thought. I'm a contractor. I hit nails for a living. I don't pick colors. So yeah, I never would have thought to reach out to them.
The sales process for selling our design agreements and the way that we operate in that really changed my perspective on how a contractor in general should operate. I came from the previous notion that as a contractor, my job is to receive prints from the client, give them a hard bid, and go with it. And that's typically how I operated. And then so going into design build, realizing, hey, like there's a way I can protect myself and the client, made me not only feel really confident in the process, so like I was totally confident selling it, but it also made me really happy that I got to protect the client and really help them out on probably one of the biggest decisions of their lives.
The community alone has been, Lane does a lot by himself, which I give him a lot of credit for. But with the community that we created this sub-relationship within the group that really, I think everyone speaks for themselves and everyone helps each other. Even though Lane hasn't appointed anyone to do that, I think we just like to help ourselves because we all know what we go through and we all know the shitty roller coaster we have as contractors. So, I mean, the community alone, it's not just for the sake of it, like we're here in Puerto Rico and having a good time, but truly there are guys out here who need help, and the guys who have already been in RC are helping us understand how to think about it. And I think Lynn does a good job of explaining it to his best of ability. And some of us just need to take it like drop by drop. He goes very fast, but it's all right.